Testing, 1, 2, 3. Clink, clink, visual. What up everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now for those of you who are returning viewers and subscribers, you already know who this is. But for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Ria and this is Rated R. So for the purposes of today's video, I want you to picture us on a date, okay? We've been shopping throughout the entire lockdown period. It's been great. Ramaphosa has finally announced level 1 lockdown. State of emergency is no more. Restaurants are open, baby. We can finally go out. And this talking stage that has been going on is finally coming into fruition. But babes, you don't know how to be on a date anymore because when lost, am I right? But don't fear, because I got you. Disclaimer, I don't know what gives me the right to give advice on dating because I can't remember the last time that I actually went on a date or was in a relationship. But nonetheless, I feel like there will always be these questions at the back of my mind that I feel we should really be asking each other on first dates, right? To cut through all the BS. Now, generally speaking, the consensus is that first dates shouldn't be an interrogation session and we shouldn't be putting too much pressure on a first date, to which I say fuck that. Like guys, a first date is so important because this is where you get down to the crux of who a person is and what a person is looking for, so that you know what you're getting yourself into and that you know, like, okay, this is what I fucks with, this is what I do not fucks with, okay? So these are the questions that you should really be asking on a first date. Grab your pen, grab your notepad, because it's about to get real, bro, and it's habit raunchy, baby. To keep to the theme, I thought it would be cute for me to indulge in a little bit of a mukbang / spicy chicken wing challenge situation content. I am giving it to you. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, so without any further ado, let's get into it. The first question, do you have children? Yes. This is also like a pre-date question, okay? So prior to dating somebody, I feel like this is something you should know, because not everybody is open to co-parenting somebody that is not their child. I know personally, let me just, that's hot. It's gonna be like, damn, that's hot. Guys, personally, I'm not in a stage to date somebody with children right now. And I'll tell you why. See, I tried to, okay? I tried to date somebody who had a child, but it just didn't work out. I think it didn't even last like 2 weeks. Honestly, it didn't even last 2 weeks. And the reason was because when somebody has a child, they could be male, female, but when somebody has a child, obviously that child is going to take up, majority of that person's time. And I felt like I haven't been in a committed long-term relationship before. So I want somebody to give me their undivided attention. And if you have a child, that becomes sort of impossible or harder. And I would never make you choose between, your child or me. So I also felt like I'm too young, I feel I'm too young to be begazelling, to be understanding baby mama dramas, you understand that stuff, you get, So it's very important. It's also very important if you are a parent, if you are a parent and you're trying to date, because you want to know the type of person you're bringing into, your family. If, the person also has children, that dynamic. So yeah, you guys, a little bit of ASMR. Just so spicy, this sauce. The next question, are you seeing anyone else? Child, if you don't get the fuck up out of mine. Some people have the audacity, guys, like to date multiple people all at once. And so if you are not careful, you could easily find yourself being number God knows what if you're not asking this question, okay? Yeah, look, typically when you start dating, you can't obviously expect to be the only one if you guys haven't decided to go exclusive or steady. I get it. But also, like, if we're deciding, like, this is what we're doing and this is what we're going to do, then can we also please just cut out everybody else? Like, why? Why must there be an entourage or a squad of people that I don't know about behind the scenes if I'm giving you my undivided attention and I'm giving you get what I mean? It's fishy, it's fishy. So this is the stuff you need to talk about. You need to talk about beforehand, because jiggy, some person, they're just thinking, oh no, we're just going out on dates, I'm seeing like 10 other people, whereas you're like, no, this is somebody I am working towards. You get what I mean? I'm working with this person towards something, a future, a goal. Kanti. You are lol. You are the joke. Next question. Are we actually going to date, or is it just vibes? Just vibes. This is important, you know. I get that this question could also just be a bit too forthcoming, maybe, you know, because you never really know. You know, you're going on a date to figure out whether or not you want to date somebody. So I understand, but I think this question is important because some people just want to waste your time. You know, some people can just see that, oh, look, yeah, this person, I really have no plans for this person. I have no plan in the future for this person or with this person. I'm just kind of going with the flow, kind of going with it. And then as a result, you waste all of this time thinking that you're building something with somebody. Gandhi. They're just going with the flow. Again, clarity is clear to see, guys. Clarity is really clear to see. So you need to figure out, like, okay, do you see us moving beyond this point, or what is this? Is it just it? Is this it? You know, let me know so I don't waste my time. Yeah, so that I know what's up. Pretty simple. Have you ever cheated? If so, why? And would you do it again? I don't think that anybody's gonna confess to cheating again if they have ever cheated. First of all, I would never confess to that, okay? Like, how would you even know? Like, would you premeditate, I am going to cheat in my next relationship? That's weird. If you're that type of person, weird. But definitely, have you cheated is an important question. A leopard never changes his spots. If you were able to cheat in your past relationship, what are the odds that you're not going to cheat on me? You know what I mean? It's just fishy. People change, and we shouldn't hold it over people for a very long time. I get it, but I don't know. Cheaters are up there with liars for me, and liars are my top no. For me, the principle of cheating is really like I really can't stomach it. I'll stomach it. With a chicken bone, Yeah, cheating is a no-go, and I'm very skeptical of people who have cheated in past relationships because I just don't believe that they would not do that to me too. So better safe than sorry. Okay, next question. What are your spiritual beliefs? This is important too. Okay, I know I've just been saying all of them are important, guys. But they really are important questions. These are things that you need to know. What are your spiritual beliefs? Yes. Definitely need to ask this question. Definitely need to know where somebody stands spiritually. I think that spirituality is such a controversial topic, especially when you're entering a union with another human being. It's now no longer you, me, I. It is an entire different person. So if you guys don't agree spiritually, it's very rare. I've very rarely seen relationships work where the partners were, believed different things, completely different things, like spiritually. I think also because of the nature of spirituality or religion, it forces you or it asks of you to be very selfish. There are very few religions that allow you to be open-minded or allow you to believe in a vast plethora of ideas. Let me just say a bunch of big words. No, but yeah, you hear what I mean. There's just a few religions that are open-minded and they're very restricting. So I feel like if you're entering a relationship with somebody who has completely opposite views than you, it is important to know that stuff, to know where you guys stand, how are you guys going to solve problems. Just in general, spirituality can cause a lot of debacle. So get that out on the table in the beginning so that you never have to deal with it, towards or in the relationship. What are your political beliefs? To follow up on the spirituality, this is the same thing, okay? Politically, there is a lot going on. Now, you don't have to have a political view or, opinion. I don't think that it's necessary, but it is important to just know what somebody's view or opinion is about politics in general as a whole. Yeah, because politics, guys, it runs our everyday life, our governments run what we do, etc., etc. So you want to know that this person has an opinion about the people that are running their life. You know what I mean? And it's important to just understand, okay, what does this person feel? What does this person believe? Also, just to add on to the previous two questions, also your parents. What do you think about your parents? I would like to know what my potential partner thinks about their parents. You don't have to have a good relationship with them, but I do want to know. These are the people that you've grown up with your entire life, So, or if you have been that fortunate, you understand? So I want to know. And if you haven't been that fortunate, what do you think? What do you feel about them? How has that molded you into the person that you are today? So yeah, just find out, guys. Ask. You must ask. You must ask these things. Next question. Do you have money? Okay, so look, I know this question is gonna cause a lot of controversy, okay? Do you have money? Oh, do you have money, honey? That's what you should be asking. No. I think the better question to ask in this instance is maybe, what do you find expensive? I think that's a nicer way to ask it or to put it, right? So money, or guys, we're not all financially on the same level. And so what you can afford might not be what the next person can afford. That doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have money. You know what I mean? I might be able to afford a Toyota, a small car, a Toyota Yaris, a nice cute small car. You might be able to afford a German SUV that is super expensive. But we both have money. You know what I mean? So I think the better question would be to ask, what do you find expensive? You know, what in your books constitutes as, this is too expensive, I will not be spending my money on this. And I think that that's really where especially a lot of men and women fight. So this idea that, oh, if a woman wants a man with money, then does she have money too? It's not about money. It's not about money. It's about affordability and about what you're willing to spend your money on. So I value like makeup, maybe I value going out, I value looking good, I value taking care of myself, and I can because I can afford to maintain the type of lifestyle I have, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean I'm not entitled to or I can't want more, you know? So, I think it's important to ask your potential partner what they're willing to spend money on, because that's when you really come into this topic of being stingy. So this man might have money, or this person might have money, but they're not willing to spend their money on certain things which you are willing to spend your money on. You know what I mean? Also, I'm just putting it out there. Please don't date stingy partners, guys. Like, please don't date stingy partners. Don't date somebody who doesn't want to spend money on you. And I don't mean for like lavish things. I just mean like who does not want to take out 100 rand and say, please go buy yourself a burger or like something. You get what I mean? Like, don't be with those type of people. You really won't get far in life. I don't need to explain it further than that. Just don't be with those type of people. Period. Okay, guys, next question. Are you on the list? Honey, if you don't ask this question, I will, okay? I will freaking ask this question personally for you. I will pop up at your date and ask this question for you. Like, if you don't know what the list is, so it's basically a list of predators. That's what I'm going to call you. It's a list of potential and some confirmed predators that was circulating on Twitter of men, particularly men, that were being outed for raping or coercing women sexually, etc. Yay! That's a very important question. That is, if not the most important question. And to add to that question, do you know what the fuck consent is a question you should be asking. Because clearly, living in South Africa, that's like, you know, that has become one of the most important questions we need to ask is, what is your definition of consent? You know, let me just hear from you, what do you think consent is? Because it's clear that we have completely different views of what consent is here in South. You know, the last thing you want to find out is, you know, you're dating somebody, you really like them, jiggy, they have been accused of either raping, of beating, of any sort of domestic violence. It's just not cute, guys. Please ask these things in the beginning, okay? Like, again, I don't know if this is something that somebody would necessarily open up to from the get-go. No. Like, would you say, if you were on that list, would you say, yeah, I was on that list? Maybe some people who have been falsely accused, because I know there have definitely been some guys on that list that have been falsely accused, unfortunately. So maybe would you say, I was on the list, but I was falsely accused. I don't know. It's such a tricky subject, hey? Such a tricky subject, but this is like what must be asked. This is the stuff that you need to know. Oh, Ask if any of their friends have been on that list, okay? Because birds of a feather fucking flock together, okay? You don't want to freaking be dating some guy who was associated with anyone on that list, you know? Like, So, you better find out, babes. Next question. What is the worst thing you have ever said or done to another person? I think this question just ties in very nicely with how you treat other people in general. You need to know how your potential partner treats other people. So a good indication might be also just the waitress, you know? Watch how they treat the waiter or the waitress that's serving you at the restaurant that you're having your date at, because that says a lot about a person and how they're potentially going to treat you, you know? I don't want to be with somebody who has done, you know, the worst to people just to get to where they are in life. I don't want to be with somebody who has walked over a lot of people and backstabbed a lot of people. Also, words, they matter too, because especially in the heat of an argument, it's definitely natural, it's definitely inevitable that you and your partner are going to end up in a fight one day, and you don't want to end up in a situation where you're with somebody who in the heat of the moment says the worst things, because angry, upset, it doesn't matter. When you say something, it stays, it sticks. You can't take those words back. So it's important to know how your partner speaks to other people and how they interact with others, you know? What is your worst fear? And this is just a nice light-hearted one. Yeah, just to know. I have a lot of fears too, so I definitely want to know what makes another person fearful. I think that fear is a very good vulnerability indicator. It really breaks people down to their most bare self. And so finding out what somebody is afraid of, be it like physical, you know, things like animals, anything like that, or just fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, you know, those type of things. It's just interesting to get to know that type of thing about a person. All right, let's go. Okay, next question. Do you wipe top to bottom or bottom to top? Woo. This is a very good question, okay, guys, because you don't want to be dating somebody and then it's sexy time, you're taking off the panties, jiggy, the slammer is saying hello, it's me. Yo, guys, personal hygiene is real. Yeah, guys, this is just like, if anything, personal hygiene, okay? I don't think it really top to bottom, top to bottom, or bottom to top, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. Next question. Do you give head? You deceiving, receiving, not giving head as? This question also just in general has to do with sexual preferences altogether. Like, ask people their sexual preferences, guys, please. Before you get into a relationship, like first dates already, especially if you plan on being intimate with that person on the first date, you need to know, okay? I don't want to be with somebody who can't give head. Or always want head, always want, take. But are you gonna give it back? Can you dish out what you've given? Can you dish what you receiving? You know what I mean? Maybe those people who expect head and then just like never give it back in return, you know? Like, that's so annoying. Now now I have to like force you, like, hey, meaty. No, don't be that person. What is your pet peeve? Very important. Very important. I think especially when you start staying with somebody, you start to realize what irritates a person, what really makes a person tick. And I often feel like that's too late to find out what makes a person tick when you're already staying with them. So this is definitely a first date question for me. I want to know what makes you tick. Can I stand to be in your presence? Can we stand to be in the same room for more than a day together? This is where I would definitely ask that question, because then I would know if this person and I can coexist together. And what makes them tick? Yeah, what makes them tick? Okay, next question. What happened in your previous relationship and why didn't it work? I've seen quite a few blogs caution against asking about past or previous relationships. And I know that I've also, in certain instances, suggested that you should keep past lovers out of a casual or a relationship. But I do think it's important to ask this question in the beginning, because it's important to know what the demise of your potential partner's previous relationship was, so that you can potentially work on not doing those things in your now new relationship. You get what I mean? So yeah, it's good to know. It's good to know how they treated their previous partner, because it will also be an indication of how they could treat you. You know, people very rarely change. And yeah, I don't know. I just have never seen a guy or a person, let me not speak heterosexually only, but I think just I've never really seen a person do a full 360 and treat their previous partner like shit and then their new partner like a queen. I'm like, I've seen that before, but you get what I mean? Like, so you need to know, like, what is it that didn't really work out between you and your ex, so that we can prevent that, potentially. Okay, next question. What is your love language? I need to know somebody's love language, guys. We don't all have the same love language, obviously. And you need to know, so that you know if somebody's willing to give you what you want. Hello? Also, if you're willing to give somebody what they're seeking, you know, there is nothing worse than being in a relationship that does not speak to your love languages, that is really nothing worse than that. So you don't want to have to constantly beg for somebody's attention, or constantly beg somebody to see you or treat you in a certain way. So rather get it out from the get-go. State what you want and how you want to be treated and how you want to be loved, and see if that person is receptive of that. And if they're not receptive of that, walk away. You know, if your love language is eating and being treated with food, and you can see that this person isn't about to spend a dime on buying food for you, then you need to walk away. You need to walk away from those situations. And that's something you need to figure out from the beginning, from the outset, because you don't want to be in a situation where you've caught feelings for a person and now you're expecting them or requiring them to do certain things for you or love you in a certain way, and they're just not pulling through. They're just like, it's not working out. They're not doing anything that you want. So rather ask it from the beginning. Another important question to ask is, what do you expect from a relationship? This is also a very important question to ask, because through this question, you're going to ascertain whether or not you want to be with this person. So they're going to give you maybe a list of all the things that they want and they don't want in a relationship. And this is really where you now get to decide, is this something that I'm willing to take on? Is this something that I'm willing to do for this person? Or you get what I mean? So this is something that's very, very important, if not one of the most important questions to ask, especially on a first date, okay? All right, let's round it up, guys. How do you feel about tradition? Another very important question. Politics, spirituality, tradition all go together, okay? Especially in South Africa, I think we have like diverse traditions. We have a lot of traditions. We have a lot of traditions, and a lot of these traditions are intrinsic to a lot of people's way of life and upbringing. And so it's important, if you're going into a relationship with somebody, to know where they stand on tradition, especially if you see yourself with this person long term. Is it going to affect the family dynamic? How is it, you get what I mean? Like, it's all about dynamics, guys. It's all about dynamics. It's all about prospects, my boo. It's all about prospects. If you see a future with somebody, this is the stuff that you need to know. Okay, you need to know. Are you willing to engage in any traditional traditions or activities? Is it something that you've completely cast aside? Is it something that you're half and half about? What is your stance about that, my babes? You need to ask. All right. When was the last time that you got tested? Yeah, child, I'll drink to that question, okay? I've never, personally, have never asked a person this question, like, ever. And I am honestly so disappointed in myself. I can't tell you how much of a disservice this is to yourself. Even if this person isn't infected with, and this is not just HIV, tested for HIV, guys. This is STDs included, everything. Have you tested for STDs? Have you tested for any infections? Please ask, especially if you intend to be sexually active with a person. Please ask this information, okay? It is not embarrassing. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. I never asked this question because I'm just like, whatever, like, it's not even important, and it's never even crossed my mind, but I was having sex with these people. I was being intimate with these people, but I never thought to even ask, not even once, like, hey, have you ever gotten an STD check ever in your life? I'm just asking, or have you ever been tested for HIV, that type of thing. I've never asked that type of thing. And it's weird because I've tested, I've been through all of that stuff, so why wouldn't I expect my partner to have taken the same due diligence? Why wouldn't I expect my partner to have taken the same due diligence? You know what I mean? Ask this question. It's very important for yourself, for your health. You need to know. Okay, and if they haven't tested in a long time, then I suggest you make an appointment, Suggest that, look, okay, I'm feeling you. I think we should be intimate together, but let's get tested. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's not be awkward about it. This is really not something to be awkward about, guys. If we can enjoy nice time together, sexy time together, then we can also enjoy being responsible together. And there really is no two ways about it. So please make sure that you ask this question. I'm sorry to give you a lecture about it, but yo, it's important. It's important. It's important. It's important. And this is something you can't leave for like further down the relationship. No, this is something you need to ask like now, because sex happens like, you get what I mean? You don't plan sex. Sex happens anytime. So you don't want to be in a position where that you don't know this person's sexual status or health status, and now you want to sleep with them, you know? So now you're taking a risk, which is fine. Like, we've been doing it all this time, condomize, whatever. But also, don't be reckless. If you can prevent, just do the things. Do the things. Prevention is better than cure. You feel me? Okay, guys, last question. Are we going to see each other after this, or do you want to see each other after this date? Now, look, I don't know. After you've asked all of those disgusting questions, I don't know if anybody would want to see you after that. But here's hoping they do, child. Here's hoping that you don't scare them away with any of these questions that you've just asked them. And I can't tell you that this list is not even exhausted, guys. There's a plethora. There is a plethora of questions that you should be asking somebody on a first date. Now, I couldn't get through them all. Thank you to those who really did submit questions for me to ask. Yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of our little soiree, our little dinner date. I didn't get through any of these wings because Chile, I was super full, but I got through this wine though. Look, guys, obviously there's no standard on what to ask when you are about to go on a first date. To each his own, but I hope that you use this as a guideline, and the aim was to really just get you to understand that there really should be no topic that is off limits when it comes to dating somebody, or when it comes to somebody you potentially see yourself with, okay? This is somebody that you're potentially going to be spending quite a lot of time with in the future. So you really want to make sure that you get through all of the BS in the beginning, so that you don't find yourself surprised months into the relationship. Jiggy, where did this come from? I never knew this about this person. I don't like this about this person. And now it's too late. You've already invested your time, your feelings, your emotions, your money, you know? So guys, save yourself all the heartbreak, save yourself all the drama, and ask. You must ask. Otherwise, that's it for me. Be sure to tell me any other more questions that you would ask on a first date in the comment section. And if you do want to see more videos from me, please make sure you do subscribe to my channel. Until next time, ciao.